Dustin to IR?
He just didn't make enough progress to get back. He wasn't making good enough progress for him to come back and kick, and so we had to make the move to send him to IR and keep Cam as a part of our football team.
Is it also the emergence of Cam and the way he's been kicking that also led to you guys wanting to keep him?
Yeah, both things are true.
Do you anticipate Dustin coming back at all this season?
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that at this point.
It seemed like Dustin was making progress. I saw him on Friday kicking, after practice. Was there like a setback at some point?
I think that's fair to say.
After that?
Yes.
Friday session?
Yeah.
And just how's Mike doing? You said a couple days just to sort of evaluate where is he at this point?
Yeah, he's making progress. I think you'll see him in practice in a limited fashion. And, we're just going to kind of take it day by day with him, but nothing significant after the game.
What about Gerald Everett? Will he practice?
Gerald will be in a limited fashion this week in practice.
So possibility that Mike could play this
That's
week?
right, yeah.
What about Kenneth?
We'll be at practice today, full.
And then just with Josh Kelly, I know he said he's going to be back at practice this week. That's still the plan?
It is. Yeah, we're going to he'll be there at practice today, and then we're going to see the type of progress he makes. And, if he's good to go in the game, we feel like he's had a good week, then he'll certainly, be active for the game.
Sort of make that decision on Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to, have a full week and see him go and see how he responds to each practice. And like you said, you open that practice window, and we'll try to take advantage of it and let his performance kind of guide us in terms of being up this week or not.
Brandon, the Cardinals have said that Kyler Murray will play this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just what do you think about Kyler, and what have you seen from him this season?
Very dangerous player, very productive player. He's really transformed, that offense there since he came into the league. And, I had to face him twice in 2020, and he's a very dangerous player. He's an outstanding thrower of the football. I mean, everyone knows about his legs, but he's an outstanding passer. He can really rip it. He can really spin it. He's got a lot of weapons to throw to. They create a lot of space for him, and, he's a dangerous player.
He's not a big quarterback, but why is it hard to bring him down?
He's faster than most of the people on the field. He's a legitimate 4.3 guy, and he may not be tall, but he's got strong lowers. And he's a lot bigger guy than you think in person, and just a very dynamic player.
With Mike and a high ankle sprain, is this one of those things you feel like you guys are going to have to manage the rest of the season?
I don't know that.
Are the Cardinals one of those teams that you're pretty surprised to find them where they're at? They were another team that had pretty good expectations heading into the year.
Well, I think they've encountered a lot of challenges this year in terms of being cleaned out by injuries, and they're still a very dangerous team. They've played everybody really tough, and the season's not over yet. I mean, they still have a really good team. They're getting some guys back, and starting with Kyler, and but they're a very dangerous team, and there's a reason why people thought of them that way is because they have a good enough team to beat you, and so we're going to have to be at our best on Sunday for sure.
With it being a holiday week, is there anything that you have to take particular care of, making sure that your team stays on track and stays focused going into Sunday?
I mean, we don't have to worry about our guys' focus. I think the way we manage the schedule, making sure that they can have a full Thanksgiving with their family, I think that's really important, that you don't lose out on an opportunity to be with your family because, you're putting football before that. So we're going to make sure that tomorrow's schedule is suitable so that they can have a full day with their families. That's coaches and players. And, make sure that when we're here at the practice facility that we put in the right type of preparation like we always do so that we're ready to play. But Thanksgiving's a really special holiday. It involves a lot of people, and you want to make sure that your players, coaches, everybody within your team can experience it to the fullest.
Just coming in today and meeting with the team, 5-5 here heading into Phoenix, what was sort of the big picture message to the guys today?
The big picture is just about what's happening in front of us right now, which is today's practice, and then who we're playing this week, which is Arizona. You have to be able to put losses like last one behind you, and I think that there's a lot of energy that goes into all these games, and what you got to do is be able to get your energy back so that you have the right type of preparation today. There was a lot of good things in that football game that we can take into this game, and then the things that didn't happen in that game for us down the stretch, we're going to learn from those. But we have the right guys on this football team, and what happened last week and the week before that, it's part of the league. You're going to have stretches like that where, hey, you have really tough ones that you feel like, hey, you're right there, and you don't make them. And so it's what you do moving forward. And I think, for us, it's about today. That's what we have to focus on is today. And our group's in a good frame of mind. And, we got to go out there and practice really well today. And that's what we've done all season is practice well. And if we keep doing that, then we'll make the progress in the areas that we need to moving forward.
DeAndre Hopkins missed the first 6 games of the season, but he's still putting up great numbers, almost 100 yards a game. Just what have you guys seen from him, and how hard is he to defend?
Yeah, DeAndre's one of the top receivers in the game, one of the top players in the game, has been for a long time. Rare ball judge, strong hands. He's a bull. Just being with the Rams and, being with Jalen, who had so many great battles with him, just a lot of respect for him as a competitor and has done a lot to, give that offense a lot of production since he's got there, So full respect for his game. We're going to have to be at our best.
Offensively, you guys have been able to score the ball pretty effectively in the first half. It's really fallen off in the second half. What do you feel like is going on there in terms of the discrepancy between the scoring and efficiency in the first half versus the second half?
I don't know if it's any one thing, but I think that to score the ball, a couple things need to happen. Is you have to have explosions. Driving the ball 10 to 12 to 15 plays, that's really tough to do in the league. You got to get explosive plays, and you got to stay away from negative plays. And so I think that, in the second half, our execution just needs to be better. It's not any facet of the run game or the pass game or what type of plays. You got to get the explosions no matter how you get them, run or pass. And you got to stay away from negative plays. And I think that's inhibited our progress in second halves this year. And then, it's not just about your offense. It's about your defense, too. It's about how your defense and your special teams plays, creating field positions. Do you score on defense? Can you create an advantage for your offense where they don't have to drive it as far, or there's a lot of factors in besides just your offensive output, and I think that's where my focus is. It's just our team coming together and playing that complementary football, so that it happens for all of us on every phase, not just one.
Is there any element of it, like defenses adjusting at halftime? I know, like in the 49ers game, you talked about how they stopped playing man coverage. Has there been like adjustments that you guys haven't maybe dealt with in the second halves that maybe have led to some of this, or is that not part of it?
I don't think that's the case in terms of us not being able to make the adjustments. I mean, you go into every game knowing that you have stuff that you're going to carry later in the game, and it hasn't happened yet for us offensively in the second half in terms of the explosion of the output and stuff like that. But we just got to make sure that we are focusing on those key points that I just mentioned, because those are really, I think, at the essence of scoring the ball. And I think, having the type of offensive output that everybody expects and that we expect, that we've shown. And I think if our focus continues to be in those places and how to get that done, we know that we have the group to do it, coaches and players. So, like I said, that's where I think our focus is right now. It's just on us and taking care of our team and making sure we get everybody healthy and so we can go execute.
Players hit the waiver wires that you have experience with. I'm just curious how closely you guys are going to monitor the wires, and if you're still looking to add pieces that potentially help your team.
Yeah, Lindsay, great points. I think we're always going to be doing that throughout the season. We've had to do that, and so you're always trying to figure out the best combination of players for your team, and I think that we've done a good job of that. If we think that there's an asset out there that can help improve us in the short term and the long term, then we're going to do that. And so if and when an opportunity comes up, I know that, myself, Tom, we'll make sure that we make those moves. So we're not at that point right now.
Would Billy Gordon be an interesting addition?
I don't have any comment on him specifically, but we feel good about our running back room right now.
Arizona is one of the highest blitzing defenses in the league. Is a game against a team like this kind of where Corey Linsley's experience shines the most, especially with a couple young players on that offensive line?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, they're a signature pressure team. They've always done a good job with that. Vance Joseph is a quality coordinator and had a lot of success throughout the years. And I know being in the division with them and then studying him from afar, like that's a big part of how they play. So they've got a lot of good blitzers, they've got good front players, but then they have good linebackers and secondary players that can blitz as well. Inside linebackers, safeties, nickels. So that's a big part of how they play. And you definitely need experience because there's a lot of looks that they give you. So the more looks that they give you, you got to be able to comprehend all that, process it, and make sure that we're in the right thing. So having, Corey and Justin playing together, having two guys like that really helps.
Brandon, where would you judge your defense 11 weeks in, because with the amount of people that you've added and the expectations and the attention you paid to the ball, played to that side of the ball, and with the rankings, most people would judge it as disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a work in progress. I think a lot of the people that you're mentioning that we joined up with, not all of them are at our, games right now. And that's part of it, just being able to manage, new people and find the right combination of players and the right combination of schemes. And that's what we're doing right now. We've played quality football that's given our team a chance to win. And, we got to make the improvements just like the rest of our football team in that phase, for us to be able to contend on the stretch and be what we're capable of being. So, I mean, I look at it, game to game. Are you maximizing that group? Because, expectations in terms of starting a season, those are just what they are, as expectations. There's a reality of the NFL, and you got to change with the facts on the ground. And where you have to live in the NFL is week to week. And I know that our defense has given us a chance to win every week, and that's all you can ask for. And then in terms of making the progress where, you're playing at the high standard that I believe in, that I expect, that takes time, and that's certainly where we're at right now.
Still remain a concern. 4 straight weeks, opponents have gone over 150, and with KC doing that,
Yeah.
play drive.
Yeah, definitely a concern. Just haven't played well enough in that phase, and like I said, we've just been working hard to find the right combinations, to do it. I think that what you're looking for is how you're playing more importantly than like what statistics tell you, and for us, it hasn't been consistent enough all year. And we're working hard to improve it.
Any update on Joey?
No update.
Go ahead.
As JT Woods has started to play more snaps the last 2 weeks, just how have you seen him kind of progress this season, just in more of his opportunities?
Yeah, the way you're going to learn as a player is by being out there, and so that's one thing that we believe in is, hey, they may experience some tough downs, but that the progress that they make by being in the NFL game is more important than just practicing. So we felt like he was in a good spot 2 weeks ago to start working him into the rotation, and that's what we're going to continue to do, find the right places to do that. And he's making good progress, and we got to continue to keep working with him.
What did you need to see from him before in practice, before he became more of kind of part of the game plan?
Just, I think, command of his fundamentals, command of the scheme, and, is he making plays in practice where you feel like, hey, this guy's ready to go? And that's different for every player. But we believe when, hey, that player is ready, then, it's not like, hey, when is that right moment? You just know what you see in practice, and then you just know that these guys make the most progress in the games by being out there. And if they experience any tough downs, that's part of the process of developing players. And he's in that process right now as a player.
James Conner, like your guy Eckler, he seems to have the most to get to the goal line. It's a great story, of course. What are your thoughts about facing him in their back?
Yeah. James, so much respect for him, even going back to Pitt, know where he's from back in Western Pennsylvania, and, he's a fellow, we had the same type of cancer. So just he's got a great personal story, and since he's got to Arizona, he's added a lot to their offense, a guy that you can truly hand the football to, and he's dangerous, can get the tough yards, and he can score the ball like you mentioned. He's always had a nose for the end zone and runs with real toughness, and he can break tackles, so a lot of respect for his game.
Brandon, what does it say about some of your players that on Tuesday they decided to go out and give meals and donate their time to help the community and the less fortunate?
Yeah, it's bigger than it. As an NFL player, you have this huge platform. You have this ability, especially being in LA, Southern California, to affect so many different people. And we got a bunch of guys that are made up of the right stuff. And I know I never take that for granted as a head coach. Is that we've got a team full of not only special players but special guys that are trying to affect a lot of people through their pro football experience. And like I said, Thanksgiving is one of the special holidays, and it's one of those holidays that you got to share with people. And I think hearing stories like that, that's sharing your gifts with other people. And you can't get enough of those type of stories in the NFL.